Hey guys, today I wanted to make a video about something that many people don't know about, and even those who do know about it, I have some information that I'm pretty sure you haven't seen before, and that is the secret chest under the Skyforge that is very good for getting gold and equipment in early game in Skyrim playthroughs. So, let's load up a new save and show 3 ways to exploit the secret chest under the Skyforge when first entering Whiterun. So the way Skyrim was developed, every vendor has a secret chest that's usually under the floor of their shop that has all their inventory and their gold inside. I'm not an official game developer, so I don't know why this choice was made, but what it means is if you can get out of bounds and get to that chest, you can get everything in their inventory without having to pay. And even better than that is taking the items from the secret chest doesn't count as stealing. None of the items get marked as stolen, meaning you can literally sell their own items right back to them. The secret chest under the Skyforge is the vendor chest for Yorlin Greymane, the smith that hangs out with the companions. This means that anything that we sell to Yorlin Greymane will be in this chest after we sell it to him. So we can take all of those items back if we want, or cut out the middleman and just steal his gold directly. Bonus fact, there is a flawless emerald hidden within the carcass of a deer between Anissa's cabin and the river. Its location is super convenient because it's right next to the Guardian Stones where most players are going to be going anyway, so it's a really good thing to know about. Okay, well, I think that's quite enough exposition. Let's head up to Whiterun, and I will show you the 3 ways to do this. To get the most out of this exploit, you'll want a follower. Faendale here is by far the easiest one to get. You just have to give his letter to Camilla, and then he will follow you and even train you in archery, and you can steal all of that gold back. For one of the routes, you will need a bucket, so I stole the bucket on top of the barrel just outside the Riverwood Trader. And for best results, you'll want a torch, so I got those torches earlier when I raided Embershard Mine. Now that we have a torch, bucket, and Faendale, we use the torch sprinting glitch to run in to Whiterun. I'll explain how to use that torch glitch in a moment. Once inside Whiterun, turn right and come into this little cubby over here. There's a barrel. Jump onto it. From the barrel, we can jump over to the wall. And if we're lucky, jump outside of Whiterun. Doesn't always work on the first try, and sometimes you have to kind of walk along the wall and actually exit from the other side. What we're doing now is running around Whiterun because we need to get under the Skyforge, and the Skyforge is in another part of town, which means running around the city walls. To do this fastest, the torch glitch is really handy, and the way that works is if you have a sword equipped in one hand and a torch in the other, and then you put the sword away and you sprint, right when your sprint is about to run out of stamina, spam the sprint button a few times, and it'll do a weird animation, and then if you did it right, you'll be able to just keep running and running. But if you fall off of certain terrain and your feet leave the ground, the glitch ends, and you have to reinitiate it. You probably noticed the textures look kind of funny, and some aren't there at all. That's because we're not actually in the normal outside Skyrim. We're in the background of Whiterun that is loaded when we are inside Whiterun. It's not the same world. It's like a background. And because of that, the geometry is not the same, and there are areas where we can clip through and cheat because there's no collision. And one of them is right in front of me. You'll know you're in the right area because you can see the giant eagle that's part of the Skyforge. So there's a visual cue we use to know where to try to walk through the wall, and I'm highlighting it right now with the cursor. It's this diagonal brick. Once you're in the right area, you can walk through the stone, and don't do what I'm doing right here. I went too far to the right. You don't want to fall down in here. You can still get out, but just stay a little bit more to the left than I did, and there'll be a more gentle slope you can follow. But we are now under the Skyforge, and there is our secret chest. Takes a little bit of getting used to walking on invisible slopes, but you'll figure out where they are after you do this once or twice, and you generally need to jump up and hit A to activate the chest. If you've been wondering why my character is in their underwear, it's not for some grainy vanilla Skyrim risque thumbnail. It is so that I have as much carry weight room as possible, so that all you have to do when you activate this chest is hit X and you will take everything. And you will be over encumbered, but you will still have enough room that as soon as you pop out of the ground again and your follower finds you, you can just hand a couple items that you would want to give to your follower anyway, like a weapon and armor, and then you will be unover encumbered. I was able to jump out of the ground over here, which is the fastest area to do it, but it doesn't always work. And so if you can't jump out of the ground there, just follow these rocks over to the left behind the archery targets, and in the corner, you'll kind of raise halfway out of the ground and then just jump and you'll be back.
I'm right behind you.
Having now given some gear to Feindel, we're free to run up to the top of the Skyforge and find Yorlin Greymane. He will still have gold to sell to us. For some reason, taking all of his gold and his items doesn't actually update his inventory right away. I don't know what the limits of that are, but we can just walk right back up there and sell him everything that we just took. If we want to make any more gold off of him, though, we're going to have to use another exploit. This one is called the vendor reset glitch. Normally, it takes 48 hours in Skyrim for a vendor to reset their inventory and have more gold to give you, but we can force that to happen right away by quick saving, attacking the vendor, and then loading that quick save. Having now done that, Yorlin's gold is back up to 1100. One thing to note about the vendor reset glitch is if you are in the same faction as the vendor, like Yorlin is associated with the companions, or if you're trying to do the reset glitch on your fence with the Thieves Guild, you'll actually have to hit them 4 times to aggravate them for the glitch to work. It won't work if you just hit them once. Well, that concludes method 1, which is my favorite. Now, method 2 is the hardest of the 3, because it involves a well-known glitch if you watch any Skyrim speedruns, and that is bucket clipping. Buckets in Skyrim, if you hold them in front of your face and then sprint at the wall, you can clip through certain walls. This took me like 5 times, I think, to get it right. And that is the problem with this method. I don't know how to get bucket clips consistent. I've only been doing them for like a week and a half. Maybe there's a speedrunner out there who can put in the comments how to get it consistent. The only thing I know is you want to be flat, like angled so you're hitting the wall flat. You want to have the bucket kind of about head height. Other than that, it feels random to me. But basically, this wall that separates Jorvaskr from the rest of Whiterun, you can clip into and then slide down under the geometry and get under the Skyforge from right next to it. No running around the city. And the thing that I'm really happy about is I found this method. I haven't seen anyone else do it. That doesn't mean other people haven't done it. This felt like a pretty obvious thing to investigate, but I found this one on my own, just applying bucket clipping, and when it works, it's the fastest way to do it if you're already by Yorland. So once you're in the wall, you want to walk around over here at the end, and there's a spot where the collision doesn't quite cover the whole area, and you'll feel your character kind of drop down about a foot. At that point, you can then walk back out of the wall and towards the Skyforge, and you'll actually walk through and under the ground. Then just walk towards the chest like normal, jump up and activate it, and you're in. What's really cool about this method is because the wall is so close to the Skyforge and Yorland Greymane, you can just do it on loop. You can steal, all of the stuff that you want to sell to him, steal his gold, and then come out of the ground, go up to him, sell his stuff, reset his inventory, do whatever, clip back into the wall, and just do it on repeat. In getting this footage, I did it about 6-7 times, and I think I had 9,000 gold by the end of it. And it's a good way to raise your speech skill, too, especially once you get, if you've got 15,000 gold, then you can just buy and sell his items over and over. You can buy all of his items and then sell those items back to him and raise your speech skill that way. It's also probably the fastest way to get materials for smithing and raising your smithing skills, aside from item duplication. Okay, so time for method 3. Method 3 is by far the easiest of the 3 methods, but it also takes the longest, and it's the one that I almost never use. Method 3 involves a patch of ground that doesn't have full geometry, so you can fall down under it. Basically, you find House Greymane, which is over here in the corner, where you find Armin in the beginning of the game. And in this corner of this house, of House Greymane, if you walk up to it and you just go to the wall, you just fall down through it. Once you're down, you want to head west towards those hills that are lit up by the sun. If you just head straight towards the hills, there aren't any obstacles in your way. If you go and wander around, things can get a little weird. But once you're on the hills, go left and go to this corner over here, and you'll just pop out of the castle and outside of Whiterun. At this point, it's exactly the same as the first method. You just have probably 30% farther to go. I recommend the barrel jumping method if you don't want to do the bucket clip method, but this way you don't even have to jump. It works every time. It's consistent. I just don't like it because there's too much running, but it's a little bit better if you at least have the torch glitch. We talked about a lot in this video, so I wanted to do a review. So here are the main points that we talked about. 1, when you leave Helgen, there's a flawless emerald over by Anisa's cabin that is super useful. It's always there. 2, if you immediately go to Ember Shard Mine, they have torches on the walls that you can remove and then use to do the torch sprinting glitch for the rest of your run. 3, when you get to Riverwood, Feindel is a really easy companion to get, and he'll train you archery. He's super useful, even though it's kind of screwed up how you have to lie to Camilla to use him. There are 3 buckets you can take in Riverwood. One of them is on a barrel outside of the Riverwood Trader. So if you have any aspirations of doing bucket clipping, it's a really easy spot to get one early in the game. Once you get to Whiterun, the fastest way to get to the Skyforge secret chest is to immediately go right, jump onto the barrel, and then jump from the barrel to the wall, and jump outside of Whiterun, circle around the city until you get to around Dragon's Reach and you see the giant eagle, and then just clip in using the visual cue of the diagonal brick, and run in, activate the secret chest, and take everything. If a vendor runs out of gold, but you still have things to sell, you can reset their inventory by doing a quick save, attacking them, and then loading that quick save.
Gods be praised.
This video got a bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but there's a lot of details involved that I feel like if I just did a rapid-fire list, I feel like it'd be false advertising if I didn't point out these little details that I've figured out or been taught in other videos. Most of this stuff that I put in this video was already known. It's stuff I learned on YouTube. I'm just passing it on in a more complete package. The only thing that I claim to have invented, I highly doubt I was the first person to do anyway, but that's bucket clipping into the Jorvasker wall and then going under Skyforge that way. I've never seen anyone do that, but I have to imagine other people have done it. I've got a number of other Skyrim video ideas that I'm going to be working on in the next couple weeks. I recently had COVID and decided to rededicate my life to learning Skyrim exploits, so I'll be trying to pass on that knowledge through tutorials. So if you're into that, feel free to subscribe. I thank you guys if you got this far. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.